I used to think getting thinner had one simple rule: eat less. So I did the obvious thing. I skipped the snack. I chose the salad. I said no to dessert. I made the plate smaller and tried to be the disciplined one. But the mirror did not change. The scale barely moved. My waist felt the same. And the worst part was not hunger. The worst part was thinking, maybe I am just weak. That is the trap. Sometimes the problem is not that you are not trying. Sometimes the problem is that the method you are using quietly makes your body, your appetite, and your daily movement fight the result you want. This is the body lie. If eating less is not working, the only answer is to eat even less. I do not think that is the way. Today I want to show you what I found after the obvious plan failed, why several well-known health and nutrition books helped me understand it, and the system that finally made getting thinner feel possible instead of punishing. The first lie I believed was that fat loss should be linear. Eat fewer calories, lose weight every week, get thinner every month. Clean, simple, done. That neat promise is easy to sell. But my body is not a spreadsheet. Giles' Yeo's Why Calories Don't Count helped me think more clearly. Calories aren't fake. The point is that food, digestion, appetite, and context shape how they play out in a real body. When I first ate less, my weight dropped fast. Less food volume, depleted glycogen, and water. That early change felt like proof the plan was perfect. Then it slowed, and it felt like a betrayal. As I got lighter, I needed less energy to maintain myself. A smaller body costs less to run. That is biology, not a broken metabolism. The NIH Body Weight Planner reflects this. Weight change is dynamic and adaptive. The same plan will not keep producing the same result forever. This is where people, me included, get trapped. We expect the first 2 weeks to predict the next 6 months. When that straight line doesn't appear, we assume the diet failed, our body failed, or we need something extreme. But a plateau doesn't always mean nothing is happening. Sometimes the old deficit shrinks. Sometimes water masks fat loss. Sometimes the plan is too aggressive, and the body pushes back with hunger and fatigue. The body lie is thinking you just eat less and wait for magic. It is not. It is dynamic, and it needs a system. The second thing I missed was movement. Not workouts, movement. When I thought about calories, I pictured food and workouts, the meals I tracked and the sessions I logged. But most days are built on ordinary movement. Walking around, standing, fidgeting, taking stairs, doing errands, moving after dinner. The boring human stuff. Researchers call this non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT, the energy for everything that is not sleep, eating, or formal exercise. When I dieted hard, that background movement quietly shrank. My body tried to conserve, and I did less without noticing. I sat more. I postponed chores. I took the lift. I stopped pacing. I trained, then collapsed for the rest of the day. The workout happened, but the rest of my day got smaller, and the deficit I thought I made shrank with it. Herman Pontzer's book, Burn, made this clearer. His constrained energy work challenges the fantasy that every extra bit of exercise stacks perfectly on top of daily burn. The body can compensate. That does not make exercise useless. It is vital for health and strength. It means my body is not a simple calorie receipt printer. It is a complex, adaptive system. If eating less makes me tired, hungry, cold, irritable, and still for the other 23 hours, the maths turn against me. I'm technically trying harder, pushing in the gym and restricting food, but my system is getting worse, quietly shutting down the small movements that make a big difference. The third mistake was thinking all eating less feels the same. It does not. Eating less with real meals is not the same as removing meals and surviving on tiny snacks. One version I can repeat. The other keeps food in my head all day. This is where books like Chris Van Tulleken's Ultra-Processed People, Stephan Guyenet's The Hungry Brain, and Barbara Rolls Volumetrics point to the same practical lesson. Food is not only calories, it is texture, protein, fiber, volume, how fast I eat, reward, how full it makes me feel, and how easy it is to stop. Think about the difference between a meal with eggs or Greek yogurt, potatoes or oats, beans or lentils, vegetables, fruit, lean meat or tofu, with enough flavor to enjoy it. Now compare that with a low-calorie bar, a small bowl of cereal, a diet drink, and willpower. Both can be called eating less. Only one makes less feel normal. I wish someone told me earlier. Hunger was not proof I was weak. Sometimes it proved the diet design was bad. Discipline is not the whole solution. The better solution is making the right behavior easy to repeat. So what worked better? Not starving harder, building a system I could live with. First, I stopped judging progress by 1 week. I watched the trend, scale, waist, photos, how clothes fit, strength, steps, and consistency. Second, I protected daily movement, steps, errands, and energy. If a diet wrecked them, it was the wrong plan. Third, I built meals that made eating less easier. Protein, fiber, vegetables, fruit, potatoes, oats, beans, whole grains that suit me, and foods I actually chew. Fourth, I stopped making the deficit so aggressive that every night became a fight. Fifth, I kept resistance training when I could, because the goal was not just smaller, it was shape, strength, and function. Sixth, I learned where the health line is. If weight changes are unexplained, fatigue is extreme. Periods change, you feel unusually cold, or something feels wrong. Speak with a qualified clinician. This is not medical advice. It is the lesson I wish I had before I blamed myself. If I am eating less and still not getting thinner, the answer is not always to cut again. Maybe my body adapted. Maybe my movement dropped. Maybe my hunger rose. Maybe my meals became less satisfying. Maybe the plan looked good on paper but failed inside a real human life. That was the problem I found. And the better way was not more punishment. It was a livable system. Realistic progress, protected movement, filling meals, strength, patience, and enough flexibility to repeat. That is where fat loss stops being a fight against myself and starts becoming something that can actually work.